Today we've come to Highland Safaris in the wonderfully named town of Dull in Scotland. We've been here before when we did the red deer experience. There's a video on this channel, you can check that out as well, it was quite good fun. And we've decided to come back to do the Highland Safari, which is in one of these Land Rovers. No, not actually these ones, these are the mini Land Rovers. They look like a lot of fun as well. No, we're going to be doing these in proper Land Rovers like these. So let's get inside the building, there's a coffee shop in there, grab a coffee and wait for the off. And at the end of the video I'll tell you how much this cost. This tourist attraction is very well organised and offers a whole bunch of different things that you can do here. So after a brief introduction about where we're going today, we're heading over to the vehicles. We're actually going to go in this Discovery today, so the two of us climb on board with 4 other people. We then head a short section along the road before turning up into the forests, and we travel for about an hour and a half, where we stop a couple of times and get some really interesting stories about local history and some very knowledgeable information about plants and trees along the way. We continue on before we stop at a bothy and have a cup of tea or coffee. So this is a pretty cool bothy, very well done, and apparently it's open all the time, you know, if you're like walking or mountain biking in the area. Anyway, we stopped here for a short time to have a cup of tea, and you could have a dram of whiskey if you wanted, and a bit more chat from the guide. And then it was back into the car and we were heading back, just the same route as we took when we came up the mountain. You'll notice from some of these shots as well that it's pretty much just going through a forest and there's trees on either side of you, so you don't actually see that much. And you know, we were looking for wildlife, it's not always guaranteed, so we did see some red deer on this trip and a couple of birds of prey and one hare, but not much else. But that's just the nature of things, pardon the pun. And before you knew it, we were back on the road and heading through the town of Dull and back to the Highland Safari place. Overall, that was 2.5 hours of journey. And I would say it was probably interesting. I mean, the guide was absolutely fantastic. He knew a lot about the plants and trees that we were driving through, and also a lot about the animals in the area. And he was very entertaining as well with some other stories. So I would say the staff were absolutely fantastic. The vehicle was comfortable enough as well, but I would say that this is probably not what I expected. I think it was too much in the trees, and therefore you didn't get to see much of the kind of landscape, and there wasn't that much wildlife either on this trip. But I do think there are other paths and other routes that they can take, and some of them looked as though they were more open with better views. So I'll put on screen how much this safari cost. Would I recommend it to you? I think probably, but maybe not this route. And as an experience, I think it was just kind of okay. But like I said, there's other things you can do with the Highland Safari, and I have a video of, for example, the red deer experience, which was really cool. So you can check that out on this channel if you want. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you on my next video somewhere else in the world. See ya!